Okay, everyone, this is Don, and this is another installment of the content management video series. I'm going to be touching on the new Wysiwyg editor, the CK editor, and CKFinder, and kind of go over do an overview of the editor and how to edit your content using it. Let's get started. First of all, we're going to what we're going to do today is we're going to create a new article or new static content page, just like the About Us here. Let's take a look at it. This is actually a static content page that can be edited and changed out with new video. You can put all kinds of stuff in here. But we're going to create a brand new one, and to do that, we need to be logged into the back end, and then we can click here to go to Static Content Manager, or we can go back up here to Static Content Manager. And again, let's go ahead and create a brand new article, static content page. And so what we have here is we're just getting ready to create this, and we'll need to save it and everything else. Let's go ahead and just call this one this static content page. Let's just call it Editor Overview. Let's also give it an alias here. The alias is more for your information on the back end, so you can see what this is about. So, because the title will be what gets displayed to the front end people, and I'm just going to say this is for training. So, with that, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this editor and drag this guy out a bit more. And what you'll see here is something that kind of resembles a lot of notepad editors or document editors like Word or Office or Works or something like that, to a degree that because you can click on things to make things happen. But what this really is what we call a Wysiwyg editor. Not just us, but everybody on the internet or the World Wide Web. Wysiwyg stands for what you see is what you get. So when we start typing stuff in here, let's say this CK editor actually creates HTML. Let's go ahead and let's select HTML, and let's make it a bold. Okay. Let's do a return. This is a return. So we're seeing, our typical text editor or document editor like we see in other ones that are running off your computer and that. But what we can also look at is, let's click on the source, and you'll see here there's some right there. There's some tags, HTML tags. This is for the strong. This is the opening strong tag and the closing strong tag. So the reason why I'm showing you this is that sometimes you will need to come in here and you will need to paste some code in for maybe a specific user or page or something like that. And a good example of that is, let's go to YouTube. Okay. And let's look for a toy on here. Let's look for Groovy Girl. Okay. So here's a video on Groovy Girl's Craftalicious Cupcake Creations from Manhattan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to pause the video to stop playing. Again, you're probably, this is a toy review from timetoplaymag.com, so you may not want to use this video, but maybe you have your own video that you've uploaded to your YouTube channel, and you want to use it on your website. Maybe a video of you reviewing the Groovy Girl's Craftalicious Cupcake Creations as well. But the thing is, what you can do with these videos, you can, if you click on the share button down below it, you'll see, oh wait, no, I want to embed it. So if you click on embed, there's some code now. You can right click on it, say copy. Let's jump back to our editor. And that's where now we're going to need to paste this in here someplace in code view. Can't really paste it in the front in view here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a return, and then I'm going to jump back to my source, and you'll see this guy here. Let's go ahead and paste it right over the top of that. What I did is I got rid of that, and that's in between these paragraph tags, okay? Now in code view, with their iframe, you actually can control the width and the height of the video. So you could make it even a bigger one, but all the rest of the stuff happens here. So let's go back into view, and you'll see, oh, there's an iframe there, and that's for the video. Let's go ahead and leave that guy there for now. We'll come and we'll look at it on the front end. It's not going to play in the back end because it's not intended to, only on the front end. Let's now come back to HTML. And let's look at some other things that we can do using the WYSIWYG editor. Simple thing is I'm just going to do some list items, which I'm sure you're familiar with or may not be, but say I just want to have a list of colors here. Blue, green, red, yellow. Oops. And then I'm like, you know what, I want these to be in a list view. Select them all. Select the 1, 2, 3. There you go. Or select them all, make them bullet points or numbers, or undo them. You'll see quickly that, you know, this is stuff that you can do. Or maybe you want to indent them. There you go. You can indent. All the different stuff that you block quote, all these different things that you can do using these guys here. Or maybe you want to make them all indented. I think you get the idea. But if we go ahead and let's do numbers, and we go back to source, you'll see that there the LI, the order line, and then the unordered or the ordered list, and then the order, and then the list themselves. So order list does the numbering. Those are HTML tags. Again, you don't need to know this stuff. That's the great thing about it. Now, there's something else that I want to talk about, which let's go ahead and return. You'll see that it automatically returns. One more return will kill that. Let's go ahead and let's say this is a title. With this title, what I can do is I can say, oh, this needs to be bigger because it's a title. I can come in here and I can say, let's say, change the font, change the size. I can make it bigger, and it'll give examples. I can change the font to a different font, maybe a crazy Comic Sans or something like that. But more importantly, I can use this guy here, which are also HTML tags that we have styled. So I could say I want this to be a heading 2. Okay? And what that means is, let's look at the code. It puts a style tag around it, or a class tag, not really a class. But this now has H2. Now, when we design your site, we design what's called a style sheet. So these tags, like paragraph, P for paragraph, ordered list, and list item, LI and OL, we have a style sheet that the designers have built for your site to keep it consistent throughout your site. So if you do it one time, if you use these guys here, you won't have to keep doing colors and everything else, and it'll keep a unified look on the site. So I'm going to do a couple more things, and then we're going to take this site and look at it on the front end. I'm now going to insert an image. And again, there's all kinds of buttons here, which if you ever need to know about the CKEditor, there's help documentation by clicking this button here, which will take you to the help documentation for the editor. But I'm going to go ahead and do one other thing that's a very common thing you'll do with this editor, which is insert an image into your web page. There's a little icon here called image. Clicking on it will pop up my image, so I can browse the server, or I could paste in a URL for the image if you have it and do alternate text with all this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and select the browse server because I want to go get one that's on the server already. So right now I'm on my site in the server, and these are all the pages I have with images in them. And I could use some of these images if I want. I could go into, say, Don's folder, which is there, and say, oh, there's the STN logo. I could select that guy. Or, better yet, I could upload an image from my computer, which I'm going to do by clicking this upload button. So it navigates. Now I'm on my computer looking at all the images I have on my computer. I'm going to go ahead and see if I have anything on my desktop. I know where I have lots of images. All the manufacturer data that I have on one of our drives. So in fact, let's go grab something from Maxim 2012. grab this orange. If I wanted to, if I'm on Mac or PC, you can always change it to view, see what you're really looking at. Mine won't do it right now, but so what I did is I selected it. Now I'm uploading. I browsed and found it, and I'm going to say upload selected file. So what it's doing right now is it's uploading the file. When it's uploaded, you'll see it. There you go. And if you click on it, double click on it, it will now put it into this window here, so you can see what's going on. There you go. You'll see it's a pretty large image here. You can drag this out to get a better perspective to see what's going on as well. Now you have some styling or options. One, you can change the size here. Say it's locked. Say I only want it like 300, and it'll change the perspective there, or even down to 200. Okay. Let's even make it smaller. So now that you see it, it's right here. Now what we can do is we can also do alignment. Like if we go left, you'll see that the text will wrap around it. It's giving you an example. You could even put a border on it, like so. Type in the border 1. You could add some space, horizontal, meaning left to right. So we might want to add just a little bit of space in there, like 5, and it's going to add some space to the left and to the right. Even the vertical, we could even add 5, and it'll add some padding to it to prevent things to be right next to it. At this time, you can put in alternative text. This is the text tag for the image. Has some SEO value because it tells bots, search engines, what this image is. I'm going to say it's a Maxim puzzle, wooden puzzle, orange. Whatever the name is, I'm not for sure. So at this time, I could just hit OK, and it'll insert into the article. There are also some other options you have here, like creating a link. If you put in here like http stoysnet.com, which is our website, it will create a link. If you go upload, you could send it to the server. You could upload an image from here as well. Advanced, you can do some IDs, some long descriptions for the URL, or the URL for the long description, like a text file. You do style stuff. This is all and you could even do new styles. You can do the style for it. Right now, we built a style by, adjusting it on the first image info. So there's quite a bit of stuff you can do. Now, typically, the 99% of the users are just going to put that image in there and then line it like they want and then say OK. And there it is. So at this point, you could bring it all the way down. And you'll see now we have all of our content here. I'm going to, at this time, take this moment to hit Apply. And let me explain what that does. On the your website, this is running off of a server. Now, it's required that we have timeout sessions, so that way for security reasons. So after so much time is, like say you go away from your computer for 2 hours or whatever, you don't want to leave it logged in so somebody can come in and start messing with your site. So we actually do log you out after a certain period of time. So I recommend that you hit the Apply button every so often, like every 20 minutes or so, just to make sure you saved your work. And what that will do is it'll save it but keep it open. It'll do the same thing. If you hit Save, it'll save it. The only difference is it will close the editor. Okay? So again, here we go. Editor Overview Training. Here is our content. So we have some static content. Now, how do we get to it on the front end? I'm just going to go quickly create a menu item for it so we can see it on the front end, and we can play more with the editor. Hit cancel here. Let's now go to Menu, and let's go to the main menu. I'm going to create a new menu item. Again, I go into more detail on the menu manager and menu items. There's quite a few different options. Again, we have lots of options, which we never, so that way you can do what you need to do. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to be making now is we're going to be creating a link to static content because we just created a static content item. Clicking on this guy pops it open, and let's call it editor. And we're going to select the static content editor overview. There's quite a few different options here. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it all like this and keep before we get into this, because this, again, I'll cover this much more in much more detail over the menu manager in that video. Let's hit save. Now let's jump to the front end of the website, hit reload, and you're going to see there's a new menu item called Editor at the very end. Clicking on it brings up what we just did. The Groovy Girls Craftalicious Cupcake Creations video. So we can push play and it'll start playing. There we go. And you'll also see here's the graphic that we put in there, and if I click on it, it will take us to stoysnet.com, which is our website. That's where I created that link for. Let's bounce back. Here's that. This is a return. This is the title, which this is an H1 title, which is styled to match the look of the site. Same with the ordered list. The list items have been styled with a red for this site. I don't know if that's a good color or not. The good thing about using, let's go back to that editor. The good thing about using the styles, or what we call the formats, to style stuff is that if you decided, like, say, for example, this was your site, and you go, I just do not like the red, you know, and you want to have it changed, you could have us change it in your master style sheet, and it would change on all of your pages because they all use that tag to style that color and that. For some people, that's, you know, pretty, you know, it may be, yeah, that's a style sheet, but it can save you a lot of time. And then also, if you decide to do a new design on your site and you want us to do a brand new design or have a designer work with us or whatever the case, again, we can change all of the tags to have the classes, as we call them, to have new colors or sizes or whatever, and it'll propagate throughout your whole site. There are quite a few other new things with this new editor that we have, the CKEditor. Let me hit a return here that I wanted to cover. There's also the table editor, so you can enter tables. We do also allow some flash. You could enter some flash items if you have them. You need to have a flash item to be able to upload. Yes, you can use smiley. So we have smileys, winks, whatever if you want to. So kind of fun. We also do insert special characters. Again, what I always recommend to people is if you want to, the best thing to do is to get in here and play with this editor and get to know it. You know, work on some content, create a just a scratch page to come in here and, you know, poke around on it. So there are also editing tools up here where you can do search and replace. So search, so you can find some text. So I want to find blue, say. Find. There it shows me. So okay. And then I could also do the replace. Find blue, replace with pink. And there we go. It just replaced it for me. So a find and replace tool. You also do spell check. Turn on spell checking. So then maybe I start typing in turtle. And it will do spell check. So it found change to, found turtle. Do you want to do this or do some other word or something like that? So again, it's, you know, does some, it also has thesaurus built into it. It's you know, it's a great handy tool if you're doing content creation within here and you're not using Microsoft Word or some other tool. You can also, again, just right-click and then it'll give you the option. Oh no, this is the right. I want turtle, not startle. And so again, a lot of nice handy tools built into this editor. The other one, of course, like I said before, is the table structure. Now, tables is a very handy if you're trying to do some good layouts to keep things consistent looking, like multiple images or something like that. So, for example, I'm going to go ahead and say this is 3 rows. Actually, I'm going to do 2 rows, 3 columns. And I'm going to say it's going to be 600 pixels wide. No headers. I'm going to say 0 borders, and yeah, 1. There we go. And I'm going to say a line center. I mean, I can do captions and summaries. I'm not going to do that. There's also an advanced tab to get into IDs and language directions and everything else. And if you had style sheet classes, you can do that. It's more advanced stuff. It's more for designers that are doing HTML style sheet stuff. Like us, if we're doing something special for you. By hitting click, I now have a table, and it's aligned center. It's 600 pixels wide. So now I can control it by selecting in here. Say I do want to add another, insert a cell before or after, but maybe I want to add another row after that row. So you can see you can add more rows. Or say I want to delete this column. So now I only have 2 columns. Let's insert another column. So now we're back to 3 columns. Now inside of these cells you can type text. Oops. Again, if you've used any type of content, or not just content, but any type of document editors, you'll be familiar. You should be familiar with tables. But this does do tables. And again, what is this doing? It's building out HTML. So you see all these tables and table cells, and then the list order. So again, it's all doing the HTML for you. You can also click in here and insert an image at this point. Browse server. And it remembers the folder we were in. I'm going to go ahead and select the Especially Toys Network one. I'm going to make them 100 by 100. It's important to note that what I'm doing here is I'm actually scaling it down. I'm not sizing it down. This is really a 200 by 200 pixel image, but I just scaled it down, and I can drag and scale it back up, and you'll see, oh, it does it. It gives you the perspective, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, -3. It tells you how much you're doing here. And if you want, you can copy. Oh. Copy and paste using my keyboard. I didn't like the mouse because it's security things. And I can copy this text. You can also use the copy up here. Oh yeah. Your browser security settings don't permit the editor to automatically execute copies. Please use the keyboard for that. Oh, it's saying use Control or Command to do the copy paste. So Control copy, or C, Control V for paste, and Control V for paste. Control copy, Control V. And you can see what it's doing is it's allowing me to edit these and keep them all in a kind of a uniform area. Let's go ahead and hit apply rather than save. Jump to the front, hit reload, just so we can see it on the front. It's good to preview it like this, and you'll see, oh yeah, there we go. Here's my table. Here's my ink. Here's my image. Here's my video. Again, be sure to, if you need more information about any of these items or whatever, hit the help item button, and you'll see that there's a user's guide for this CK editor. We have recently, we've adopted the CK editor because it's very well used and loved, and we'll be able to keep a good updating of the editor to support newer browsers and maybe new restrictions that were placed on Wysiwyg editors within browsers. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this video on the Wysiwyg editor. There is more documentation, like I said, in the help of the editor, as well as you'll find some stuff on our help documentation here on the back end by clicking on the help at the top there of your menu. And thanks for your time, and please check out our other videos.